Today we're looking at the creative Mark Berlin Mottler brushes. Now, a Mottler brush is a brush style that some artists aren't completely familiar with, so let's discuss those real briefly. It's a brush that at first glance looks like kind of a typical house painting brush, but it's not. Mottlers are specifically fine art brushes designed by fine art brush manufacturers for artists. So they're going to be very different. Now, the Berlin has something that a lot of other Mottlers don't. It's completely synthetic. So if you're looking for an animal-friendly brush, it's ideal for you. But the synthetic nature, a lot of people automatically think soft. This is actually designed to be more like the performance of a bristle brush. So you get that heavy body capabilities and kind of workhorse ruggedness with this brush that you typically wouldn't get with a synthetic. These are handmade for us in Germany, which means that they're actually hand bundled, tied, and then glued into a nickel-plated ferrule. And what that does, that house painting brushes just can't touch, is it keeps it from shedding, which if you've ever had a brush shed in your work, is something you never want to experience again. So you're not going to have that issue. It's got a more ergonomic style handle. It's hardwood from sustainable forestry. It's got 3 coats of lacquer over a beautiful blue varnish stain. It's just a joy to hold, actually, and to handle. And I think we really need to see what this brush is capable of. So typically, if I'm going to varnish or gesso, I like to use between a 2-inch and a 3-inch size brush, just to be able to work it into the canvas or get a nice kind of covered coat. So let's try the 2-inch with a little bit of gesso. Got just regular acrylic varnish. That works it in nice and smooth. It's firm enough where it can really kind of push that gesso down into that canvas texture easily, but provides a nice kind of smooth finishing line over it. You really can almost see absolutely no brush stroke. That's a fantastic brush for gessoing. Prevents all that excess sanding that you sometimes have to do with a brush that leaves a lot of texture. But that's going to clean out very easily, which if you've ever cleaned a gesso brush isn't always the easiest task. So that's great for gessoing. Now, what other things would this be ideal for? We're going to try showing it with some heavy-bodied acrylics because this has that kind of spring and snap, more like a bristle brush, so it's going to be able to hold the weight of acrylics, of acrylic mediums. This would even be great probably for water mixable oils because this would clean out a lot easier than a standard traditional bristle would with that medium. So let's give it a try with just some, I've got a little bit of blue here. You can see that holds it well. It's not falling off. Really nice strokes. That lays it down. You can cover a lot of area. Just that real quickly, you can cover a whole lot of area fast. Let's see how nicely the brush keeps shape. And that's the other hallmark of this specific style of synthetic filament. Can keep a nice line. That's pretty swanky. Let's try it with the Soho acrylic, which is a much heavier bodied acrylic. Can hold it pretty well. It's not dripping off. Oh yeah, easy. Easy to work with. Let's actually add in some, let's add a heavy gel medium. Just so we can see, I mean, that holds it really well. It's not kind of flipping and flopping and making that brush, you know, dip down from the weight, which for a synthetic is kind of unusual. So let's put this in here. Easy to mix. These would be ideal for doing murals, anything that's large scale. I mean, you can almost use it kind of to lift larger amounts, almost like a palette knife. Very nice. Comfortable to hold. I'm not having a lot of hand fatigue, which sometimes you will really have with those, real small, thin handles on the average style mottler or paddle brush. Creative Mark Berlin Mottler, great synthetic alternative to a natural hair brush. Holds lots of heavy weight, does a beautiful job of gessoing. Add one to your painting arsenal. You'll love it.